As you know, I think people are all joining from different parts of US, and welcome again for the March edition of our Each One Educate One Satsang. Again, as a reminder, this is something which Sadhguru had told us multiple times, I think, when he came here in US that we should have this and meet. So at that time, uh, I didn't realize that we will have the blessing of meeting such young stars from Sadhguru's org. I think Krishna sister have been talking about it. I think today probably she'll talk more about it, about how Sadhguru have been giving the reins to the young, and I don't realize this young and dynamic people to take over the mission. It's so excited and happy to see many of those people. And today, I think we have probably the youngest, maybe, Apoorva, and we have been eagerly waiting, sister, to have you. There's a lot of interest from the very beginning when we shared. A lot of people are waiting to hear from you. And as a quick introduction, even though she looks very young, she actually is in charge of the entire Jayapura Campus, Sri Sathya Sai Sriniketanam in Jayapura. I think she's the current word used is like a Pradhana Palaka, I think the main caretaker of the entire campus, which is wonderful at that young age. So it'll be wonderful to hear your experiences. And she is holding the responsibility of, I think, around 152 students studying from grade 6 to 12. And some of us can't handle one or two children who are teenagers. So it's such a heavy responsibility. In her own words, she says, "Every day is an opportunity given to me to learn new things that will make me worthy instrument of my master." So I think without much more time being taken, I will hand it over to her. And before that, as usual, we also have our own Krishna sister here. Thanks again, sister, for joining. I know you are also very, very busy. Both of you are very, very busy. So thanks for taking the time. And as you know, she was alumni of Swami's Institute from Anandapur. She was in corporate. And now she has is one of the Each One Educate One trustee. So she can tell us all about any questions we have on Each One Educate One. So I think we can start with Apoorva's, and sister, then you can probably in the middle come in to talk a little bit more about Each One Educate One, as usual, any other updates and about the what the progress and all that. And we'll obviously have our much awaited Q&A session too for both of them towards the end. So with that, Apoorva, I think hope you're doing good. We'll hand it over to you. Saira.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of my master. It is a great pleasure to meet all of you today. If not physically, but virtually, we are all able to get connected to each other. And this is what shows we are all from a same family. As Swami always says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we all belongs to same family. And it is a wonderful opportunity given to me to share about my experience with my own brothers and sisters. Thank you for giving us this wonderful opportunity. And to tell about myself, I joined Swami's institution for my kindergarten. So I joined Swami's institution for my UKG at Sri Sathya Sai Sriniketanam. Until 10th, I completed here. And after 10th, I moved on to Chikballapur for pre-university. So when I was in 10th, during the 86th birthday of Sathya Sai Baba, we had an opportunity to go to Mudinalli for the birthday celebrations. And it was that time when Swami announced that he'll be opening a pre-university college for girls. And girls from Swami's institution can join. But my parents were a bit tensed because that was the first time that I will be moving out from my native place and I'll be staying far from them. And my father was very doubtful. Even on the day of joining, he was asking me, really, do you want to stay in the hostel? Will you be really wanting to stay? Will you be able to stay? These are the questions that he was asking. But only one thing was in my mind. Somehow I want to be with Swami. Somehow I want to study in his institution and I want to work in his mission. This was the thing. I said, yes, I am going to. So that is how I got enrolled into the pre-university. And during our PU days, Swami had given us much attention, much time, much of his energy. Everything was spent on us, and that is how we got molded, and that is how we are all able to shoulder these responsibilities. Everything from minute things to the biggest things he had taught us. For example, he had taught us table manners. He taught us how to present ourselves in front of elders, how to speak in front of an audience. All these things Swami has taken care. And every time he used to encourage us when we do the new things. And that is what made us to think in a broader way. And that is how we are able to think and go out of our box and do the things for students. So during our PU days, every Thursdays and Sundays, students were given the opportunity to speak in Premamritam. And in the month of December, it was my turn. But from my childhood, I had a wish of becoming a lawyer. I never wanted to get into the teaching profession. So during one of those days when I was supposed to speak, I had also seen my friends talking to Swami when Swami asked them, what do you want to become? All of them said, Swami, whatever you say. But I was very much clear. I am going to tell him, Swami, I'm not going to get into teaching profession, but I'll become a lawyer and serve you. And when the day came, I was preparing. And after the preparation during the satsang, when my name was announced, I went to Swami for Pada Namaskar. Swami said, go ahead and speak. After the speech, I went for Pada Namaskar again. The very first question that Swami asked was, what do you want to become in your life? And without my knowledge, I told him, Swami, whatever you tell. So he said, I'm going to open a university, study there, complete your education, then serve in one of my educational institutions. I said, okay, nodded my head and came off. But after coming back, I was thinking, why did I do this? I wanted to tell him that I don't want to get into the teaching profession. But I was also knowing this, whatever Swami tells, it has a reason. Without his plan, nothing will happen in our life. And this clarity was also I was having. And that was the day when I dropped this idea of becoming a lawyer. And that is the day when I started accepting whatever comes and understood that Swami had a greater plan for my life. And after my PUC, again, we have to enroll for, then it was Sri Sathya Sai Center for Human Excellence, where it was under the outreach program of Mysore University. So I had to join the Center for Human Excellence. Again, the question came from my parents was, really, will you be able to? First of all, you don't like the teaching profession. How will you go about doing your degree? This was the question. But this time I was having much clarity about what I'm supposed to do. So I told my parents, from now on, I'm not going to speak anything about the lawyer, that whatever wish I had before. Whatever Swami is telling, I'm going to do that. I'll complete my degree and wherever Swami sends me to do his work, I'll go. They were happy. They never had any questions. So that is how I got into Center for Human Excellence. And Center for Human Excellence was a wonderful opportunity for us to get molded in all the aspects. So every time we were having people coming to us, teaching us how to do things. For example, Krishnaka took us classes regarding the accounts, regarding how to manage the trust things, how to, we do have this MNBS scheme, how to select, how to look into these things. All those things were taken care. And we had a training session, how to teach, teaching techniques, and also about how to present ourselves when we are representing Swami. That was a wonderful thing that we all learned. And if I'm able to speak today, it is because of all their support and guidance that they have given it to us. And during the degree, whatever the 3 years of period, Swami took us to Singapore and Malaysia. And for many of us, that was the first time where we could travel in the flight, where we got exposure to the foreign countries. So there we could experience the love of devotees, and we could learn how much they're able to do it for Swami. They're ready to do anything for Swami. And because of their sacrifice, we are all here today. That was the thing that we all learned. And I think because we have seen their sacrifice, because we have seen their commitment to mission, that is teaching us, that has taught us how we should all get committed, how we should all serve Swami, and how we should utilize the opportunity that he has given us. We have visited Ayahu sir and his wife. Really, the day when I saw him, I got tears in my life, in my eyes, because even though they are all from a professional background, they were all so humble, they were all so dedicated, and that is what made me to feel so much gratitude for them. Because if at all, if they are not ready to sacrifice, if at all, if they are not committed to mission, probably many more girls and many of us would have not got educated at all. And that is the day when I decided, whatever I'm having, whatever I am able to do, I should do it to the fullest. Because if they are able at this age, if they are able to do that much, think about youngsters who are having all the ability, energy, and also the time to do, how much we should do. That is the thought that I got that day when I saw Ayahu sir and his wife. And I understood, because of their sacrifice, we are able to get this opportunity, and we should also utilize it to the greatest extent. And it is also our responsibility to make sure the next generations are also utilizing this opportunity correctly. So that was the clarity that I got that day. And after our degree, we have 1 year of internship program, where after our degree, we will be posted to different educational institutions. And this internship program is all about getting exposure to various aspects of the hostel and also about the administration part. And I was posted to Gadag. And the day when Swami was allotting us the locations, mine was the last name. Swami said, Apoorva, you Gadag. I was completely blank because I am from the south part of Karnataka and Gadag is in the north part of Karnataka. Temperature, food, language, everything was different. And I was completely blank. I had no thoughts. Swami looked at me and he said, you have so much of work to do there. Will you go? I had nothing to tell. I said, yes, Swami, I will go. But again, this time my parents were like, climate is change, temperature is change, food is change. And that was the time when I got, my spine got injured. So that was also there. They were all a bit worried, but I said, no, so I'll go, Swami, no worries. So then I went there, and that was also during the COVID, where children were at home. We were supposed to take online classes, and keeping them in track was a big, difficult task because it was online. So after going there, initially I do felt difficult with food and temperature because, as I told before, I am from the south part of Karnataka, and there, that is the north part. So that was the difficulty, and but it was a wonderful experience for us um, because of COVID-19, teachers were not able to come to schools, students were at home. We were not able to establish a relationship with students because it was all virtual connect. And because there were during the COVID-19, teachers were also finding it difficult to take classes. So I was put into the administration part of looking into their admissions, MNVS visits, accounts. So these were the three things where I was majorly looking into. And this was all, even though we were trained, that will be a total, when you get into the ground, it will be a totally different experience, because whatever is taught in a theoretical manner, many a times you will not be able to apply into the practical life. So when you get into the ground, it is all in brand new things that you encounter. So when I went there, everything was new. I do remember many a times we have called Krishna Akka and asked, Akka, what is this? Why should we do this and all? But it was a great experience, because when I went for visits of MNBS students and all, I had seen the difficulties that parents were undergoing. There was a child where both parents were not there. She was looked after by her uncle, but that uncle was having a personal motto. He wanted her to complete her 10th, and then he wanted her to get married. So that was the thing. But the child was very innocent. She was very good at studies. And we got her into the institution. And then she started sharing how her own relatives were forcing her to get into this physical harassment things. How were they forcing her? And she was also telling us, like, many a times I never had food Akka, because they were not giving us, they were forcing me to get into these things, harassing me. They were like, only if you agree for all these things, you will be given the food for that day. These were the things. So when we got her to the institution, she was very happy. And whenever we saw her face, the smile on her face, that made us feel energized to do the next thing, to do the next adventure in the mission, or to go ahead and help many other students. This was with the administration part. And that was the time where our elders have taught us how to take the decisions when you are representing the institution, because many a times we all go ahead with our personal motives or emotional things. But when you are in a position and when you are representing an institution, it is totally a different story. You should think about Swami, you should think about the welfare of the institution, and also of the people whom you are looking into. So that is how I thought. And training us as a future leaders, our elders have done a great job. My reporting head was Seema ma'am. She had taught me how to stay calm in all the situations, how to maintain the harmony with among everybody, because I was also having the language barrier where I was not able to understand their Kannada and they were not able to understand. Many a times they started scolding us back, but she also taught us how to maintain harmony with all of them and how to answer them. Because many a times when you are representing an institution, in this currently also I'm able to experience that when I'm representing institution, parents will have many questions. Many of our CSR partners or many of the well-wishers who doesn't know anything about Swami or who doesn't know anything about the institution will have so many questions. How are we going to answer them? How are we going to make them understand is what I have thought that I have learned during my internship program. So by the end of my internship program, one fine day, I got a call from my sister saying that father have passed away. You have to come back to the native place. So my father had met with an accident. So she called me and she said, you have to come back. This is what has happened. So initially, like all other kids, whenever they hear this news, however they felt, my situation was also the same. I was sad. For a moment, I felt everything is going to stop. What am I going to do without him? So, but the time from Gadag to Jayapura, it will take around 6 hours of travel. So this time period has given me the time to think and contemplate on whatever Swami had taught us. Before going for internship program, we had Paravidya Shibira, where Swami had taught us Narada Bhakti Sutra. And it was Upanishads for brothers. Initially, girls have this comparison always, boys and girls. Why Swami is giving much more opportunities for boys? Why not for girls? So we were also having this. We were like, why Swami is teaching them Upanishads? Why not for us? Why is Narada Bhakti Sutra for us? This Narada Bhakti Sutra is all about developing a pure love for God and surrendering ourselves to God. In Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Bhakti is the thread in which God is tied up and he will never go away from the devotees. So this is that thread where Swami had taught us how to tie God with that Bhakti. So even we were having this question, why Upanishads for them, why not for us? So Swami said, Bhakti is always in girls. It is an inbuilt character in girls. But many a times, because of the pressure of the society, because of the impressions from the society, this bhakti has got diluted. We have given a wrong impression about bhakti. We have given a wrong definition of bhakti. So to show you what is bhakti and to make you experience what is the true bhakti, I'm teaching you this. So that is how Swami had taught us Narada Bhakti Sutra, and that was a wonderful opportunity where I have learned that Bhakti is about loving ourselves. That means we are all God and we should love and we should be able to experience that love. And that gave us this, what is the definition of Bhakti? Surrendering ourselves to the Lord, these things. And when I heard this news from my sister, And then when I had to travel towards my native, that 6 hours of time gave me time to contemplate on what I should do, how I'm going to accept the situation. The only thing that kept ringing in my mind was, this is all temporary. How a driver will change when the old vehicle is damaged, when it is of no use, the driver will shift to the next vehicle, the new one. The same thing soul have done now. The old vehicle has got damaged, now it has to shift. He has to move on to the new one. That was the thing. Atma doesn't have any death. It is just the body that has changed. This was the thing that kept ringing in my mind. And by the time I reached my native place, I was able to accept the situation. Because I am the elder one in my family, it was my responsibility to console my sister and my mother. And it was my responsibility to look after all the things that were supposed to be done on that day. So by the time I reached, I had the courage of facing the situation. And that courage came from this Narada Bhakti Sutra, because in that, Narada will tell, devotee will not fear for anything. The only thing that he will know in his life is God is always there with me and God will look after. That was the thing. And with that courage, I went on. The only thing that was in my mind was, Swami is going to be with me. My Sai family will stand with me whenever I need. If at all, if I need any help, they are going to be with me. And that is how I was able to face the challenge of this situation and go ahead. And you all know how how relatives will turn a table when there is a situation where they have to come and help. It was the same with me, where nobody came to help us, where nobody stood, because it was an accident case. I had to have a legal issues and all I had to face, and there was nobody who will come and help. It was me who went all around to do with the legal things, to get the certificates, everything. Every time when I had to go and meet the police officers, every time when I had to go and present myself in the court, the only thing I was knowing is, Swami is going to be with me. He is my guiding force and he will never leave my hand. This was the thing. And I was also thinking this, Swami, whatever you want to happen, it will happen. Throughout these years, you were there with me to guide. You were holding my hand, and it will continue the same. I just know you are going to be with me. That is how I was able to, single girl who have just completed her degree, was able to face the challenge, was able to face all the legal complications, and was able to stand and speak people who were questioning me. And after my internship, by the time I came back from my home, internship program was over and I had to go back to PG. So, and before going back to PG, because of the issues among the relatives, they were not ready to give us any properties that belongs to my father. They were not ready to give us the share, all these things. So the now question was, where will I take my mother and sister? So I told Swami, this is what is the situation. Nobody is ready to help us and they are not ready to give us the share, whatever my father was supposed to get. Swami said, don't worry about anything. Search a home near to Jayapura campus and ask your mother and sister to stay there. And the next question was, as now they are not ready to give us the financial support, how will I buy a home? This was the question. Again, I have to get back to him and tell Swami, how should I go? I need the financial support also. Swami was like, why are you worrying about the financial support? I am there to help you. Don't worry about those things. So then we had to search, and while searching also, Swami said, send me the photos. I will select which one to go ahead. So we sent, finally he finalized one particular home that is near to Jayapura campus. And I shifted my mother and sister and I went back to PG. Then I didn't understand why Swami he was mentioning to me very often, search a home that is near to Jayapura girls campus, search a home that is near to Jayapura. This was the message that he was sending me. I didn't understand. I went back to PG. And when I went, Swami had called my mother and sister for an interview when he came here for campus visit. So I called them and they all came. Then that day when my mother came, Swami held her hand and he said, don't worry about her. Everything will be looked after me. Don't worry about her education, her life, whatever is supposed to happen in her life, everything will be taken care. Don't worry, she is my child, is what the assurance that Swami had given to my mother. So my mother was very happy. She never had any questions. Even today, she doesn't have any questions regarding what am I doing, why am I doing this, what about my future. She has no worries regarding all these things. So during my PG days also, Swami was there for everything. Uh, very often I was supposed to come to court. I have to be present there. All those things. Every time before I could leave, so I used to send a message to Swami. Swami, this is what is happening. I have to go today. So I'm like, don't worry, I'm going to be there. And in Upanishad it is said we are all lion's cub. So we should be like lion. So only thing that was like, I am God's child. I should be like God. I should never get worried. I should never get feared of anything because I am God's child. Whatever happens, my father, my Swami will look after these things. So that was the courage that I had. And we were about to complete our PG, but this time I had a small worry because my legal issues were going on. Before he could announce our placement, Swami had called us for an interview in Anandam. So that day after the interview, Swami told, wherever you all did your internship, you will be posted to the same campuses. And I was posted to Gadag during my internship, but this time there was a concern because my mother and sister were here, and also I had a legal things to do. So after the interview, that day I didn't speak anything. My presence was very much needed to my family during these days. So I told the same things to our reporting head. He said, you write a mail to Swami and send it to him. Let us see what happens. But I had learned one lesson from Madhu Anna's life. He never told no to Swami. That is what I had learned from him. So I wrote a mail. I drafted everything, but somehow I don't wanted to send him because I, throughout my journey of all these years, I never told no to Swami. Whatever he said, I had accepted. And same thing I had seen in Madhu Anna's life also. The same lesson I had learned it from him. So because he had never told no to Swami, we are all here today. And this thing kept ringing in my mind. We should never tell no to Swami. Now why are you interfering in his decision? So the mail was kept like that. I didn't send. Again, during the campus visit, Swami had called us for an interview. And again, that day my name was the last name. Even though my name starts with A, it was the last one in the list. So everybody's was announced. People who are supposed to come to Jayapura, their name was also announced. And I was next to him only, but my name was not announced at all. I was like, okay, if he tells me to Gadag, now what am I going to do? All these things were going on. And finally he said, you will be posted to Jayapura. I said yes, but then I understood. Swami is Hridaya Nivasi. We need not physically go and tell him things. He will understand whatever we are going through. He will understand and our prayers will be heard. So we need not physically go and tell Swami, this is what is happening. So I wanted this to happen. No, he is Hridaya Nivasi. Even though we have learned, sometimes we forget the things. That is what has happened. So, but after that incident, I have understood that even though I don't go and tell him directly, he will understand. And whatever he does, it is for the greater good cause. So after my PG, we all came back to our locations. So here our elders were there and they were so loving. They were so caring. And I could understand love can change anything. Because sir and amma were, if I want to tell, they are the equation for love. They could change students to anything with the love. I never saw amma raising her voice, or I never saw her discriminating, all those things. I just saw the pure love that she was giving to students, and that pure love made the students to understand what is Swami and what is his love. And that is what I have learned. And as Krishnaka was telling, this transition of handing over the responsibilities to youngsters, was an opportunity that Swami had given us to take this mission to a greater heights. So all these years, it was a right. We were asking Swami, Swami, we want this, Swami, we want that. We wanted your physical proximity. We wanted you to teach us this, all these things. But now it is the time of taking up of responsibilities. So that we have understood. And the day when Swami had sent a message that so and so will be the Pradhana Palaka of the campus, so and so will be the principal and warden, I had been to class. I have done my master's in economics. So I was taking classes also. So that day I had gone to class, but phone was in the office. I didn't see the message. Everybody in the group was like, Swami had sent a message. You people have not responded. I was like, what message is it? What are they speaking about? So when I came back, I saw the message. For a moment, I was completely blank. And then I got, first thing was, initially I never wanted to get into the teaching profession. Swami had changed that. So now for my sake, he had changed my locations. And now he's going to make me as the Pradhana Palaka or the chairperson of this institution. How to go about it? But I never had doubt. I just had one thing. If Swami had done that, he will give us the capacity to do that. The only thing that I should make sure is I am always available for Swami to flow through me. This was the thing. And that was ringing in my mind. And when this Kartavya Danda was, the day when Swami was handing over this Kartavya Danda and Simo Langana was happening, Swami had asked me to speak in Premamrutam. So again, the question was, what am I going to speak? What Swami wants me to speak. But one thing that I have learned from my elders was to get detached with everything. See, the moment they said, the moment Swami said, you all have to come back to Muddenalli, handing over the responsibilities to the youngsters, none of them had any questions. None of them had even asked Swami, why is this? They are all so young. None of them had question, and that is what I have learned. So before accepting this responsibility, I had one thing in my mind. Today I'm taking up this responsibility. If at all, if Swami wants me to leave tomorrow and go to different location, I should be able to do that. I should not have any second thought. And now every day when I get up from my bed, this is the thought. Am I ready to hand over this responsibility for the next one to come? Am I completely detached? And the same question I ask myself before going to bed. So that is, yes, whatever the work demands, I am able to do that, but without getting attached. Because if at all, if we get attached, finally, when the time comes, when we are supposed to leave, we should not have any thoughts. That is what the thing that I have learned from my elders. And uh, once when Krishna Akka was addressing us, she taught us every day when she go to sleep, she'll think herself, have I completed all the work that is assigned to me by Swami? If at all, if I have to do leave tomorrow, am I ready for that? Have I completed the assigned work for me? And the same thing I ask myself every day. Have I completed all the work that is given? Have I completed all the work that is supposed to be done for the welfare of the students? This is the two questions that I ask myself every day. And if anything is there, I'll complete it now, then and there, and then go to sleep. This one is, I should not, like Swami had taught us, we should never get attached to anything for that matter, positions, power, or name, fame, anything. So this is, before accepting the thing, I had this clarity, and I should also, I'm putting my 100% effort to continue the same thing when I'm in this position, and I should be also able to maintain the same thing when I'm not there. And this is a wonderful opportunity that is given to us, because as Anna was telling, at home, it is very difficult to manage two kids, because they'll all be notorious, they're youngsters, they'll have so much of energy, and channelizing that energy for a good cause is a great task. So we have from 6th to 12th here in Jayapura campus. And they all come of different background. As you all know that in our educational institution, we take the students from the poorest background. Many a times they will not be able to understand what we are speaking. Most of them will not be knowing how to take bath, how to brush their teeth, all these things. So initially when I came, I think that is because I never wanted to get into the teaching profession. Mingling with students was a bit difficult for me, because many a times I would not understand what were they going through and all. But that was the first few months of my stay here. Because many a times they would come to us crying, Akka, we wanted to call our parents, we wanted to go home, we have lost this, we have lost that. Many a times I would, Swami is doing so much, Swami is spending so much, why these girls are not able to understand? Many times we do have got frustrated. But then when I go through our own life, you'll understand. All of us have done mistake, but Swami never got frustrated with us. He never shouted at us. He gave us the pace to understand what is he doing, why is he doing. And I also understood everybody's understanding will not be in the same pace. They will take time to understand the situations. They will take time to understand the opportunity that they have given it to us. So now every time when students come to me, I feel, okay, this is Swami, the notorious Swami, who is approaching me to telling me this is what has happened, this is what has happened, I have lost this, I have lost that. So every time when child come to me with new complaint and new problem, I see this is notorious Swami playing with all of us. So, and that is how I am able to love the student as I love Swami. Because love for Swami is the thing that is making us to go ahead with whatever we are doing. And that is the same love I am able to give it to students, because in each and every child I see Swami. If it is a silent child, I see Swami is so silent, calm, cool. And if it is a notorious child, I feel Swami is so notorious. And that Balakrishna who was in Vrindavan playing with Gopikas is the same Swami who is playing with us now. So that is how we are able to give that love to students, and at the same time we are also able to mold them in whatever Swami wants, in terms of behavior, in terms of education, in terms of reaching their destination. And as I told, we take the students from the poorest background. We ourselves go to their native place, home, and we search for the students who are really in need. They will be taken into the educational institution. And ABAS is an NIOS center, National Institute of Open Schooling, where student will have the choice of choosing science or arts in ninth itself. They will have the opportunity to do that. So many a time students will come and tell us, Akka, we don't want science, we want arts. So we will be able to discriminate, like whether the child is really capable of that. If not, how to convince them, because everybody will not have the same IQ level. But at that time, they may not be able to understand. So being a teacher, being the administrator, it is our responsibility to make them understand what are they good at. So this is about NIOS, where students have ample opportunities to learn many things. Because they write their board exams in 8th, 10th, and 12th, students have sufficient time. If at all, if the child is interested in painting, we do have course for that. If the child is interested in music, fine arts, sports, we have ample opportunities for the overall development of the child. And you all know that Swami gives very much importance for the Paravidya aspects. That is about learning about scriptures, which will help us to reach our final destination. So now the academic hours or the schedule is divided into two parts, where first half of the day is for the Paravidya, that is about the academic excellence, and the other half is for the individual development of the child, where we will teach them about Vedas, Upanishads, and the messages of these Upanishads and Vedas. So we are able to experience the joy that students are having now, because Swami always says education is joy of learning. So we are able to see the joy where students are enjoying their education, and where they're able to learn many things about Swami's mission, about more than mission, it is all about their life. What is this life is all about? What is the ultimate destination? Why should we live? And what is the purpose of life? We are able to see the joy, and the one more important thing is, even the sixth child is able to understand, and even the sixth child is able to know this life is not about making merry. This life is not only about enjoying the worldly things. It is all about reaching the God and serving the God. So every day when we see the joy in their face, uh, I really feel satisfied, because as I told, initially I was the one who don't wanted to get into the teaching profession, but now when I see them, I really feel satisfied. And I never um, had this thought, okay, somewhere I had gone wrong, I should have told that day. I never got this thought. Whatever Swami had done, it is perfect for my life, and that I'm able to experience now and get satisfied with whatever I am doing today. And here we do take students, as I told you, we do take students from the poorest background. And there is one child where father had passed away, and mother is not keeping well. She's having some mental issues where she is not able to take care of the child. When we got her into the institution, she was not knowing anything. She was not knowing how to comb, how to brush her teeth, bathing, nothing. She was knowing everything. We should go and make her do things. And today she is the topper in the class. She can speak in front of anybody. She will teach her own juniors to do the things. And every time when we see her, it will give us a new idea and energy to do the new things and to get new students like this. And she is good at everything now, and her goal is to serve in Swami's mission in whatever way Swami wants her to do. And it is not only about students getting transferred, or it's not only about student getting benefited from each one educate one, or any other programs for that matter. There are other staffs who are from a difficult background getting benefited, and also are saved from the societal issues. We have an housekeeping staff. Initially she was in some other place, where even hers is the same thing. People were forcing her to get into this sexual workers and all. But when Amma and Sir went and brought her to the institution, she was full of fear. She was not able to believe even us. She was having that phobia in her whenever she looked at people. She had a mindset where whomever she met in her life were taking the advantage of her situation. After coming here, this was the same thing in her mind, and she was not able to speak to us. She was not able to express her things with us. But over a period of time, she had understood these people are not like that. They are the beacons of love. They are here to give the love, which I was not having all these days. And now she is happy here. Her children have joined here. They are also happy. So what I'm telling is, it is not only about students getting benefited, or it is not only about us who are getting benefited. It is also about the each and every individual who is getting into the institution, who is stepping in, are getting benefited, and their lives are getting transformed. So that is one thing. And when I took uh, when I took up this responsibility as Pradhana Palaka, uh, it was also a new experience. Even though during our internship we have got exposure to everything, but that was a different thing, because that was an OBE campus where students were from 6th, 7th, 8th. But here it was from 6th to 12th. We have youngsters, the smaller ones at 6th, and also the 12th, where this is the age where they'll get many thoughts, many new ideas, and they will be having so much of energy and channelizing them with to the right path. And this will also take so much of time every day. If at all, if we want to transform any child, it is only when we give so much of attention to them, so much of love. Mm, First 2 months I was finding it very difficult, because I was not able to manage my time. because administration part was going on, accounts has to be looked after, and everything, whatever has to be done for the betterment of the students, we have to take a call, we have to make a decision. With all this, I was not able to give the time to students. So one fine day, one of the child came to me and said, Akka, you are not giving us sufficient time. So we are not able to experience, and we are not feeling that comfortability with you because you are not giving us the time. That is the day when I was nervous. What am I going to do? We are all here for students' sake. And if they are not happy and if they are not comfortable, then for whom are we doing all these things? And if I go doing the same thing, I will not be able to achieve, or I will not be able to give my 100% to Swami. Then I sat, my other two friends were there. We all sat together and we thought, no, this is not going to work like this. We had to break down the things. Only then students will be happy. Outside facilities, education, whatever we give it for them, ultimately, if you are not able to give the love, it is of no use. And even Swami will not like all those things. It is more than liking. Students will not be able to develop that love to Swami, because Swami will always tell you, you are my representatives. He cannot come and physically be there in all the places. So he will send his representatives to spread this love. So all these things, Swami once have told us in the meeting, you should be able to give that love. It's okay if the work is getting delayed, but you should never delay the love that you are giving to students. So once again, we have gone through that discourse and the minutes of the meeting. Then, okay, we have to break down the things. We should be able to give time to students, and only then they will be able to understand Swami. So then I learned time management. I do remember I have asked many elders how to divide the times, how to maintain that relationship with the students. And now I'm able to give the time to students. Now students are very much comfortable. Whatever they have, they'll walk on, they'll tell, Akka, this is what is happening, and we wanted this way to happen. And now they are able to, during these recent interviews, many of them were telling, Akka, initially we were having this thought of becoming doctor, engineer, or many other professions. But now after seeing you all, we just wanted to serve Swami in whatever capacities Swami wanted us to do. And that is and they're like, Akka, we are able to experience the Swami's love in all of you. We are not able to feel the physical absence, and we don't feel that Swami is away from us. We are able to experience. That is when we all feel satisfied. And yes, we have a long way to go, but I am sure if we are available for Swami, and if at all we are ready to do whatever Swami tells, we will be able to achieve this goal. And the only thing that I have to tell is, whatever many a times I had thought, why this? Swami, why did you make me as Pradhana Palaka? Really, will I be able to do that? This was the day, this was when the child came and told me, so, you are not giving us the time. I thought for myself, Swami, really, am I capable of handling this responsibility? Or should I tell you that I am not able to do this? This was the dilemma that I was in. But again, I had gone through all the discourses that Swami had given, spoke to many elders, took their suggestions. And then I was like, no, if I manage my time, I'll be able to do this. So the only thing that I know is, whatever Swami had given, it is for a greater good cause. And if I should be available for Swami at any time. And after this incident, one day I was listening to some song, and that day I was really feeling something. I was missing Swami so much. I came to my office where we have kept Swami's Simhasan and all. I was sitting there and I was telling Swami, I wanted to see you. I'm missing you so much. Physically, I was feeling his absence that day. And the same thought was going on. throughout the day. And night I get a call from Shivu sir and Krishna Akka saying that Swami is coming to Puttur, so you should go there for making the arrangements. And when the day when Swami is going to be there, you are supposed to be there. That was like, yes, when child really wants the mother, when the child wants to see the mother, mother will make provision for that. So that is what I have understood. And that day when Swami came there is a Gurukulam which is under RSS, where they give it is a they educate the child from 6th to 12th, like us. It is a Gurukulam system of education where they will teach everything in Sanskrit, and their medium of instruction is also Sanskrit. And one of the devotee had prayed Swami for him to come. So this time Swami had visited, and as the representatives of Swami, we were sent there. And when the day Swami came there, the moment he saw me, he asked, "Oh, you have come from Jayapura," he said. "Ha, Swami." I told him this, and he said, "Oh, you came here to make the arrangements." Huh. And while going, he said, "Take Pada Namaskar. Now go back and do the things," he said. Everybody was asking, "What did you ask him? What is the thing that he is telling you to do?" Then I was knowing the answer, because I was missing him so much. I was missing my mother. Mother had given me an assurance, and mother had given me the opportunity to get her physical proximity and the love. And again, that gave me the energy. And again, the things continued. And today, I take this opportunity to thank all of you for your sacrifice and your love. If you all have not given us the support, most of us would have not been here. Because I too know, during our internship, both boys and girls will be provided with stipend. Money will be given to us for our personal things. But for many of our classmates, and including me, this stipend was the only source of income for our family. And during our PG days also, it was the same thing. As I told, my family members were not supporting. They were not ready to give us anything. My mother was completely in depression, where because of my father's death. My sister was not able to do any work because she was not keeping well. The stipend was the only source of income where I was able to manage. If at all, if Swami would have not given this stipend, if all of you would have not supported, really, I would have not been here today. I would have failed in my responsibility of looking after my family. So I take this opportunity to thank all of you for supporting us and for guiding us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Apoorva. I think it is wonderful. Yeah, I mean, the last bit you said, it's absolutely, it's not, sacrifice is all yours. After hearing your story, I mean, what we are doing is not a sacrifice at all compared to what all of you are doing. I mean, it's just a great opportunity to do anything little. But what you guys are doing is so touching. I think I want to hear more from Krishna's sister, especially about this whole the youth transition, sister, if you can, and or anything else she has update on. But one thing I would say, I know, Sister Apoorva, you said you're living every day to hand it over to young people, but we sincerely hope you, Swami, keep you for a very, very long time, because you spoke so nicely and just so touching to hear from you. I think they're young, but like last time speaker also I said, I think they are much, much more wiser than all of us, younger maybe by age, because when you described your father's case itself, I don't think many of us who are double or triple your age can face these things in the way you have faced it. So that just shows the maturity of all of you. Anyway, with that, sister, if you want to share something, it'd be wonderful. I'll hand it over to Krishna sister. Meanwhile, I'll just a quick reminder for everybody. This Apoorva as well as Krishna sister will be there for some more time. So if you have any questions to ask, please, like usual, put in the chat or raise your hand, and we can read out. And if you are not seeing, there are around around 40 people from different parts of the US signed in. Please put the question in the chat or raise a hand. Before now, I'll hand it over to Krishna Sister.
In October last year, Swami said that all the campuses are being taken care of by the elders, who are, some of them late 60s, early 70s. And Swami felt that it's time that they focus on their personal sadhana, because taking care of campuses, you need to be available 100% of the time, like how Apoorva said. So he said that, enough of working. You've been working since the 1970s, 80s to even now. So it's time to give you all time for your own personal sadhana. And therefore, he said that he will hand over the responsibilities to the youngsters who have just graduated from the university. So I just wanted to share with you. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Krishna.
So this is the photograph, and I of course share the link as well on chat. You can go through and read it. So this is what happened in October, and the youngsters, like Apoorva said, everybody was unsure how this is going to happen. Are they ready to take it on? But you have heard what Apoorva has been saying. The spiritual teachings that Swami has imparted has made such a big difference. Each one of them is shouldering the responsibility of so many children in their campuses. Not only the children, the campus responsibilities, representing the campus to people who walk in, and the financial management of the campus. All of this are on their young shoulders. But students like Apoorva, they have really proved what Swami's vision is. They are really living up to Swami's vision. Most people were not sure if Swami is really taking the right decision, but as all of us know, in hindsight, we look at it and we feel more confident, because we need to understand that, these grand edifices that we build, the beautiful campuses that we have, it needs to go on forever. It cannot stop in a few years. So how are we going to sustain this? The sustainability can happen only when the transition happens, when the youngsters start taking up these responsibilities. And many of us are now very sure that when our time comes, we need to be ready to leave. And again, that's another thing that we need to be ready for, that, whatever name, fame, position, power, all of these are transitory, and we need to be ready to hand off as whenever Swami tells us. And as all of us know, the two words that Swami loves to hear is yes, Swami. So we need to be ready to say yes, Swami, at any time, whenever he asks us to do anything. So that's what I wanted to share about the transition, and I will share the link on the chat box as well. But if you all have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Sure. I think we'll do that. I already see a question. I think some people might have questioned live. And also a very quick update, if I may, on the even side. That some of you attended might have heard that from the beginning, the first 3 months, the even US team, again guided by Swami, that we do this program of having for the financial year to support as many children as possible, and we normally put a target of supporting at least 108 students before Swami comes, and we normally we want to have submit that card to Swami with people who supported and all that. And I think we don't have the exact numbers, because every month at the end of the month is when all the tally happens. But from what we have seen, I think we will hit that number by end of March. But again, there are a couple of more days. So that's a small gap that if any of you want to still help and contribute, please do. Let us know as usual. You have all the details. Apart from that, I think we will transition to quickly Q&A. When Krishna Sastra was saying about the young people taking over, I mean, it's interesting that we are in a country currently where we are not able to find people younger than 80 to be a presidential candidate. And here Swami is, transitioning the control to, youngsters who are in 20s. So it is like such a contrast to see how things can be so different. So our first question for Apoorva, this is a question even I had when you were talking about your work and schedule and all that. I think this question is from Rupa, sister, and same question I had in my mind too. So I'll read her question as is. Sairam Apoorva, very inspiring talk. How is your typical day goes by? What time to what time you work? So in short, my question also is like, what is your schedule? Because you are talking about administration, teaching, and dealing with children. So how do you really manage time?
Students get up at 4:30, sir. So we should be before that. So I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that half an hour, 4 to 4:30, I'll do all my sadhana and reading of scriptures, japa and all, I'll do that. Then at 4:30, we do go wake the students. So 4:30 to 5 is the time when they'll get ready, they'll freshen up. Then they'll all come down for Suprabhatam. So after Suprabhatam, they'll have Yogasana where we will all be there to mentor them. So after Suprabhatam, they'll all go for bathing on getting ready and all. So at 7 o'clock, they'll all be ready. And when they're getting ready also, we do have caretakers who will be taking care of these things. So in between, we do go see how are they doing things, because this time everything is given by the institution side and everything is similar for everybody. So most of the time they might get missed. So we do go see their things. And 7 to 7:30 is the news, like news time. Whatever the daily updates are there, we will give it to them. We will show. Then after that, 7:30 to 8 is the breakfast. So I do go for breakfast along with the students only, so that I'll also be able to manage the time. At the same time, I will also know what students are doing, how much are they eating, are they really eating well, or are they not. So from 8 to 8:15 is the school prayers for the 15 minutes. Then 8:15 to 12:15 is the class duration for students. As I'm also taking classes for 10th and 12th students, you generally first and second period is for me to take economics classes, because after that I'll be a bit busy because I'll be having the visitors to come. And after the classes, 1:30 to 12:15 to 1:30 is lunch for them. So now, because I'll also have some other additional works, I will not be able to go with the students for the lunch. Warden will go and look into it. So during this time, if at all, if I have any meeting, work or anything, I will do that. If not, I will prepare for next day's class, because evening, as I have to spend some time with the students, I will not get sufficient time to prepare. So this time I will utilize it for preparing for next day's class. So after food, students will have a nap from 1 to 1:30. During that time, there are sixth girls are a bit notorious. They will not have a nap. They'll all be going around, sleeping, all those things. So controlling and managing them will take that time. And 1:30 to 4 o'clock, students will be having their study hours. And this is the time where I look into all the infrastructural issues. Issues in the sense, you all know students will break this or that, anything they might do. So I will look into all those things. I will call people from outside to repair it and all these things. I'll look into that. And if at all, if I have any staff meeting or something, I'll schedule it in the evening so that morning classes will not get disturbed, because teachers will be having classes. They'll also have to prepare. They will all have the assignments to complete and all. So afternoon, we will schedule the meetings. We will have that. And 4 o'clock, students will go for snacks. 4:30, the game period. So I'll also go with students and play, so that ground is the place where students will not hide anything. While playing, they'll tell off everything to us. And that will also help us to build a good relationship with the students. And I'll also go with them to play till 5:30. So 5:30 to 5:40, they'll again go up and freshen up and come back for the prayers. So 5:40 to 6:40 is the prayer timings. So after prayer, students will all go for dinner. And this is the time where every day I'll call one particular class and I'll speak to them for half an hour. Whatever the issues they have, I will listen to it. And whatever the problems, the personal or in the community living, whatever the issues they have, I will listen to it. And I'll give them some guidance if they really need. And after the food, students will go back for Paravidya classes. Because I'm also handling the Apara, that's economics part, and also the administration part, I'm not taking Paravidya classes. Interns are looking into that. But I'll go around, like what are they doing in the class? How are they doing it? All those things I'll look into. And after Hanuman Chalisa at 9:50, students will go back to hostel dormitories. So after students go back, once again, I'll go around, I'll check, and at 9:45, I'll go to our room. So after going there, I will sit and write the work log of that days, whatever the tasks were supposed to be completed, have I completed it? And for tomorrow, whatever work has to be done, I will write it down. And again, I will meditate for a few minutes and then I'll go for bed. By 10:15, I'll sleep. If there is any emergencies, if any child is not keeping well or anything, I'll be always available for that. This is how I am managing my time and things.
Wow, that's like a completely packed schedule. I mean, I think there was somebody's asking a simple question, like, what's the name of Amma Sister Apoorva was referring to? So
Chaya Anantamurthy.
There's a follow-up question by Rupa also.
yeah, she's asking also, how do you discipline if a child the child misbehaves?
Right. Individually, we will call them and we will give them much attention. And more than telling it should not be done like this, we will tell them why it should not be done. What will be the consequences if we do it like this? Because if we don't give the reason to the child, they may not be able to understand. And next time also they'll do the same thing because they don't know why they should not do this. So first thing that I do to a child when we come across this indiscipline or anything is, I will just tell them why we should not do like this. Many times students will understand, yes, I should have not done this because the consequences will be like this. Many times they'll understand. There will be few notorious ones where they will not understand this. Time and again, I'll call them, speak to them, I'll make them understand. And many times I'll be behind them, or I will keep somebody, some intern or some teacher assigned with this job of looking after them. Time and again, going behind them for everything. Because each child is an asset for the institution. So we cannot just leave just like that. So that asset has to be kept properly. So time and again, we will go mentor them. And also, I have also divided students, and mentorship is also there. Each intern is allotted 15 students where they will be looking into these things. Many times I personally go behind them and do the things. Just to give you an example, as I told before, everything is given by the institution side. So there are few who don't know to manage it. They might have lost it, or they might have got exchanged. So others will come and tell us, so and so girl have taken this. So many times I have personally gone, I have folded their clothes, washed their clothes, kept it, arranged it for them, and we have taught them how to wash. All those things we have done.
So there is a stricter face of Apoorva too that
Yes.
that we have not seen. Yeah, I think very much needed. I will just read one comment, I think, which Indra sister just posted, and it felt like very appropriate and nicely worded. She says, a beautiful session and amazing to see so much centeredness and dedication from someone so young as Apoorva. very inspiring to hear her experience and the role models like Sister Chaya and Sister Krishna. So I think very, very appropriate. One question from Amit. Uh, do they learn gardening and planting?
Yes, sir, they do learn gardening and these things. Every Sunday, we will teach them all these things.
So the holiday is actually Sunday, right?
Sir, sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't get you.
Which is the day you have, like, what Sunday is the holiday?
Sunday, sir. Sunday, after Suprabhatam, that is after Nagar Sankirtan and Suprabhatam, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock is allotted for campus cleaning, where students will, throughout the day, housekeeping staff would have done, but Sunday, they will have this concept of campus cleaning, because they should also be able to understand and they should be able to feel that this is our institution, this is our home, and it is our responsibility to keep it clean, to maintain the hygiene, and also that is the from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock they will do this. So 8 to 9 o'clock they'll have breakfast. So after 9 we will have 1.5 hour for this gardening and all.
I see.
After that they will play. Sunday is given for them, they can play and things, but we will all be around.
And you also said about a principal and warden and teachers. So most of you stay in the hostel with the students?
Yes.
Is that how?
Yes, all of us stay in the hostel.
Right. And hostel and institute are also nearby, I would suppose, right? They are
Sorry,
close
sir,
to
I
each
didn't-
other. The
Yes,
hostel
sir. Like teachers' rooms are in between the hostel dormitories, wherever the students are staying.
I think there's Amit was asking a follow-up question on like what kind of sports they play or any favorite sports and all that.
So we do teach them volleyball, throw ball, basketball, kho, athletics, and these things, shot put, disc, javelin. We do teach them all these things.
See, so I think it looks like there's sports activities as well as you said other arts activities as well as the study. So it's
Yes,
like
sir. And because every year they will have this annual sports and cultural meet, no, sir.
okay. Yeah.
So they will also participate in that. So from the day one, we will start training them.
Got it.
Because this is the age where students should play and because they'll have that energy. When we become old, obviously we cannot go and play things. So this is the age. Many a time students will not feel like, but we will push them for coming for sports, playing. And
Right. And then, so January, the sports meet, all of you come to Mudanahalli,
yes, sir, we do.
each campus having their own
Mm.
programs planned. Is that how it works?
Yes, sir.
I think,
Yeah, I had a couple of questions, or one question rather, Apoorva. Thank you for sharing. It was really inspiring. Actually, the part which you talked about, not just the children, even some of the, administrators, that lady you mentioned, that was really amazing. I never knew about that. That is, something not even thought about it, how it is helping such, people like that. The question I had was like, how often the children come to Budanali, or how often does Sadhguru visit the campus? How often do they interact with Swami?
Sir, Sadhguru visits the campus once in a year, sir. So he will stay here for 2 days and he'll spend time with students. And twice a year, students will come to Mudanalli. So one is during the Dasara, that 10 days, and during the sports meet where students will stay in Mudanalli for 10 to 12 days. So they get time to interact with Sadhguru. And Sadhguru will also speak to the outgoing batches and he will guide them. Like, for example, this 10th and 12th, that is a crucial time where they have to take a decision what they want to pursue in their life. So Swami will also give time for them, addressing them, guiding them.
And one more question I had was how many of them stay back like you all? Like you have been there from kindergarten, right? From, you said, I think from UKG or something. So how many kids actually stay back and be part of the mission or, help out in the institutions?
Sir, in my batch, we were 22 of us, 22 girls, and all of them have joined the mission, sir. They're
Wow.
all serving Swami in different institutions, in different capacities.
Wonderful.
Wow, that's great.
That's amazing. Yes.
Okay, I would like to just add
Sure.
a couple of things here. So we need to understand that this is just what Sadhguru has started is just not schools, just not institutions. This is when we have more of these students who join back, we will be opening more and more campuses, more and more educational institutions in rural parts of India. The vision is that there should be one such school in every district of the country. So right now we have a presence in 20 districts, and this year our academic year is starting from May, and we are adding two new educational campuses, two both for the boys, one in Tamil Nadu in Tenkasi and one in Bagalkot in Karnataka. So we need to understand that it's important that these students join back the institutions and take forward this mission. As you know, in rural India, we do not have skilled manpower or skilled teachers or qualified teachers, because the goal is to get some kind of a job and make more, send back money home. So many of them come to cities to work and earn money. So therefore, gone are the days when the teaching profession was something that was so sacred and everybody aspired to be a teacher. But now there's no one who wants to become a teacher. And therefore, rural India is suffering in a very big way. We do not have qualified teachers. And even in our own schools, till these students came back and they started taking up responsibilities, we did not have very good teachers. And therefore, we also had online volunteering classes being taken by volunteers from other parts. They would be taking these classes. Sorry. So we groom these students to be able to decide that, they would like to commit to the mission. They could be teachers, they could be doctors, engineers, nurses. We have a huge, wide ecosystem with the hospitals, with the Annapurna nutrition program, the schools. So they can choose what they want to do. And therefore, many of them, and also I'm not sure if you're aware, we have a strong relationship building with the parents as well. Because most of these parents are rural people, and they really do not have an idea of our ecosystem. So from this year onwards, what we have begun is, that is from May of 2023, we began to have this sessions where all the parents have to commit 15 days in a year. They need to come and do service. Now, what does that mean? 1 week, we invite them to come and do service in Mudenahalli. Majority of them serve in the hospital. Now, the hospital is a huge, massive area where we have almost 1,400 patients walking in every day. So we give these parents different kinds of roles. Many of them take up management of these patients, just managing the queues, making sure they go in order, that kind of work they do. Some of them who are a little bit educated, they also work on the computers. So we give them different kinds of responsibilities, and all of them serve in the hospital for an entire week. Their accommodation, their food, their travel is taken care of by the institution. So when these parents come and see the work that is going on, their world opens up. They had no idea what this is all about. They only knew that the child was going to a school, getting educated, getting good food, and coming back for the holidays. But when the child decides that he or she wants to continue to work here, that is when they are like taken aback. Why do you want to go and work there? They have no idea what this place is about. And so therefore, now that they are all coming in, many of them write back and tell us, thank you so much for giving this opportunity to us, because now we know that our child can also get a job there. And Swami, of course, as Apoorva also stated, he takes care of the entire family. It's not just the student. If a parent has an issue, a health issue, of course, our hospitals are there. If they have any other kind of issues, we give them financial assistance. So in every way, the family is being taken care of. Once the child joins, the entire family, in more or less, is adopted. Everything that the family needs is taken care of. And as I was telling you, that they need to commit 15 days, 7 days is in the hospital, 7 days is to go to the campus where your daughter or son is studying. So many of for instance, the mothers, they will go and help in the kitchen. They themselves will cook food for the children for that entire week. Of course, with the assistance of the existing cooks, but they will make things that will be delicious for their own children. So, and the fathers, many of them are farmers, so they'll take care of the landscaping of the campus. So they all serve in these different capacities, and that is really strengthening the bond between the institution, the parents, and the students. And now when the students say that they want to take up a career here, parents are more than happy that they know that the child will have a good career, is going to be taken care of well, and they also have that security that in case there is a need, the institution will take care of them. So literally, it is one world, one family, not only for the people who work in the institution, but all of you as well. I mean, without your support, without all of you being part of this, this cannot go on. So it is literally one world, one family, and all of us are part of this family in different capacities. It's just like all 5 fingers are not the same. All of us are playing our different roles in this big, huge family.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions, if anybody has?
I mean, very interesting to hear. I just wanted to say that it's very interesting to hear this, because I've not, I did not know that so many of them, I think even Jayadev will agree with that, did not know so many of them actually become part of the institution. But what you shared, right, makes a lot of sense, because they see the value in it. Otherwise, they are looking at things to get them married and, so that it's not a burden on them or something like that. But all those things are, Swami is taking care of it, right, in this manner. That it's a really very, though I've been part of this, I did not know this part. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think even in the past, it was very few who
Yes.
stayed back
Yes.
in our institute. So this is, in some sense, it feels like it is we are creating not educated students, you're creating actual teachers. It's like a institution that produce the future teachers, right? And then each of them are actually are going to guide a lot more students. So the first batch of, that's why each child becomes very important, the family and all that. So it makes total sense to what you said, how everybody has to come together too, because it is not a child's decision alone if they want to dedicate for the cause. So that makes sense, and that makes even more important why the strength of the mission, right? Like each student that comes out is like you're supporting a generation of people, or small village rather than just one student, right? So the impact is much more. This is what Swami has been telling all the time too when he comes here. So I mean, it's nice to see firsthand.
Yes.
People like Apoorva talking to us. I think we were really missing that, like seeing that firsthand directly with people who are managing that. It is just really very, very inspiring.
Looking forward to the day when girls like Apoorva or young boys also can come here and speak, actually, because I know they are already speaking in Premamritam and all, but when they come here or something and speak with Swami, right, sometimes part of the entourage, that makes, I think it will make a big impact. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that day is coming very close. With that, I think given that
just have I'll also like to add, like both of you were saying that even though you are part of the system, but you are not very familiar with every aspect of our education system. So therefore, we are starting a new webinar series from April, which will be, I mean, of course, we'll be sending invitations worldwide. So everybody can join this webinar, and we will be showcasing different aspects of the education system in those webinars. For instance, in April, we will be talking about the admission process. We'll be focusing on different aspects. In the month of May, we will be focusing on the joining kit. So when the students join the institution, our academic year, as you know, begins from May. So the students join us at that time. The students, a fresh batch of students who are joining grade 6 will be coming in May. And when they come in, they just come in with a pair of clothes that they are wearing. Everything else is provided for them by the institution. And therefore, we have a ready-made kit for them with all the essentials that are required for them to live in a hostel. So what is it that goes behind the scenes to assemble this kit? So all of this we will be showcasing in our webinar series, and I invite all of you to join them. And of course, you can ask your questions. We'll be having professional videos about these different aspects, which you can share with people who may be interested. So it's an effort to make sure that everyone is aware about the deep thought that has gone into this education system. It's not just about students coming in and getting educated. What is it that goes on behind the scenes, and the end-to-end support that is given to the student when he or she is studying in the institution.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, look forward to that. I think given that there are, I think we can conclude today's session, because we have, I know, folks from East Coast. It will be like 10:30 in the night for them across US. So it was a great, wonderful session. Thanks for joining again, both Apoorva and sister. Sister Apoorva, if you want to close with any final thoughts.
As Krishnaka was telling, students will be given with a kit. So why this concept of student kit has started is, as I told before, we take the students from the poorest background. Apart from this, we will also have students from like-minded individuals who are from a financially good background. So when these two come together, the child from the poorest background should not feel bad that my parents doesn't have the affordability and I'm not able to get the things. So students should not get this thought, or he or she should not feel bad. That is the reason, and they should have this brotherly feeling or sisterhood, where they feel that they both are equal. They are the child of the same mother. So Swami had started this concept of getting common things for all the students, and common thing, Swami has never compromised in the quality and the standard of the product. It is the best quality that Swami is providing to all the students, so that every child in the whomever is staying in the hostel will not have any discrimination, or will not have any sad feeling for not getting the things. Now it is the same product that each and every child get, and they're all very happy. They don't have this discrimination among themselves. They don't fight, like saying that generally we do see students, you're from a good background, I am not. There might be things, child who might take away the things. Nothing like that is happening. Swami wanted a good relationship to be established among the students, and that is why the student kit with same similar product, similar brand, and the best brand is given to students.
Yeah, I think that makes great sense. It's like their old Gurukul system. So I think with that, sister, hoping and praying that you'll come back to us to talk to us more, Apoorva sister. Look forward to hearing from you. I can already see a lot of in US many channels. Very inspired by your speech. So please do come back, and wishing you many, many more years of serving Swami and inspiring all of us. Thanks for joining us, both of you. I think we'll conclude today's session with Om and Vishantis. Okay. Sai Ram.